Hi, welcome back to Future Shock Technologies. It's our third video tutorial, and in this video we will be seeing what's a push button and how to use push button with Arduino microcontroller just to control any devices like LEDs or motors, anything. So let's get started. So we are going to create our new circuit here. I'm just clicking on create new circuit. So first I'll be showing you how to make the circuit, how to connect this Arduino with push button. And then later on I'll be explaining how to program it, right? So first let's choose an Arduino microcontroller. I am just searching this in all components. We are expecting to use Arduino Uno. And here you can see that there are some ready-made circuits available with Arduino connected with something. So I'm just taking a simple Arduino connected with a breadboard. That's it. So you can see here the power rail and ground rail, everything is connected. So it is very easy for us to use this kind of circuit. Maybe we won't forget to connect all this power and ground thing. Now I'm just getting a push button, which is a 4-terminal device which I can get from the basic component. You can see the terminals like 1A, 2A, 2B, 1B. That's it. Now let's see what is this push button, exactly how this push button is looking internally. So you can see that there is 4 terminals, but these 2 terminals are same. This A and B, which is internally connected, and the C and D, they are the same terminal, okay, which is internally connected. Right now this button is in release state. You can see there is a disconnection in the middle. This AB strip and CD strip, they are not connected each other. There is no current flow in between. Okay, this is a momentary type push button, in the sense if I am pressing the switch, then the moment only, that means if I am pressing the switch, that moment only it can sense that different data. Then only it will be in the press state. Otherwise it will be, normally it is in the release state. Okay. Yeah, now let's see, this is a press state and release state. That's it. I hope that's clear. Now let's start doing the connection. So here I'm using a resistance. I'll tell you what's the purpose of using resistance. For instance, right now we just chosen a 10 kilo ohm resistance. That's little high value. And the other terminal, the 1A, I connected to 5 volt. That's red. And yeah, you can see anyway it's having 2 terminal. 2B is actually 1B. From there I am taking a wire and that I am going to connect to any of the digital pin. If the button is pressed, that press status is going to reflect from this digital pin. So I'll be reading this digital pin, and what is the status of the digital pin, accordingly I am telling that the button is pressed or not pressed. Okay, so I just connected. Even I could have taken this wire from the resistor directly, right, because they internally short circuited. Yeah, right now the button is in a release state. By default the button is in release state. Yes, now the circuit is done, so we just entered to the coding session. So in coding, since we are using block coding and the default code I just deleted, and I am going to create a new variable here. So I just clicked on create a variable and I can give any name. Variable is like a container where I am going to store the data. So I have given state as the variable name. Then once I clicked OK, I got this blocks which is associated with the variable. Now let's see what are these variables are about. Variables are the names you are giving to a computer memory locations which are used to store values in a computer program. And there are certain operations associated with variables like creation of variables and storing some data and retrieving some data from this variable. So just understand that it's like a container, okay, where we are going to store some data. The data can be anything. Data can be numbers or alphabets or strings, whatever you like. So in our project, in this project, we are going to store some data. Okay, we are going to store the state of the button. It can be press state or release state. For that, instead of that, we will be storing the data like high or low. I'll explain what value we are going to get, like whether like in the release state what we are going to get, and in press state, of course, you will be getting the opposite of the release state data. Okay. So just to store that, I created a simple variable name as state. It can be anything. You can create any name. You can use any name for the variables. And there are some rules while creating the variable. At least the variable name should start with an alphabet, not with a numeric data. Okay, so that much is clear, I hope. Now let's continue our code. So to the state variable, I am going to attach an input block, that is read digital pin 6, where I connected my push button. That's it. So now let me see what is the state variable is holding, what data it is holding. Just for that, from output block I am getting something called print to serial monitor. So basically it is printing hello world. Instead of hello world, I want to print this variable, state variable itself. So if I am clicking, if I am starting simulation, you will be able to see that in serial monitor, if I am opening, I am getting 0. So by default this button state is 0. The moment I am pressing this button, you can see the value is changing to 1. Since it's a momentary switch, maybe only the occasion once I am pressing the switch, by that instant only I am getting 1. That's okay. Yeah, now you understood this is actually the state variable. With this I can control any other devices like LED or something, depend on the value which it is sensing. Okay, but just to make it more sensible, I am adding one more print to serial monitor, and instead of hello world I am going to write what exactly it is displaying. So it is displaying button state, so I am going to write button state over here. Yes, that's it. So I am expecting that it will be it will be showing that button state. What's the state? It can be 0 or 1. Since it's digital, there is only 2 values I can expect. That's it. So now if I am simulating, you can see that okay, the format is little wrong. So I have to change this here, button state without new line and state with new line. So I'll get it perfectly, I'm expecting. Yes. Here we go. Right. Now it's very correct. Okay, button state is 0. By default it is 0. And once I am pressing this button, it is showing that button state is 1. So we can just sense that if button state is 1, the switch is pressed. That's the meaning, right? Okay, I hope that's clear, right? Here you can see how we are connecting push button to Arduino microcontroller. The push button is connected to Arduino microcontroller's digital pin 6. Okay, and push button 1A is connected to 5 volt, this red wire, and 2A is connected to ground with this resistance, and here we are using 10 kilo ohm resistance. Okay, and through this pin, through this resistor, the 2A is grounded, hence this resistor is known as pull down resistor. It is connected to ground, and opposite of the pull down resistor you can see we connected to Arduino's digital pin 6. And I told you already this pin 2A and 2B is internally connected, so 2B is directly pulled down to ground, so that's the reason by default we are getting the value 0. But the moment I am pressing the switch, the moment I am pressing this momentary button, you can see that the 1A and 1B will get connected, so this Arduino pin 6 will get connected to 5 volt. That's the reason we are getting logical high. Okay, now let's see how we are going to control an LED using this push button. So I just took an LED from the basic component and placed in the breadboard. And now you can see this LED cathode I'll be connecting to ground, and LED's anode I'll be connecting through a resistor to the digital pin. That's it. And the resistance I am choosing here is 220 ohms, since we are expecting more brightness for the LED. Now it's perfect. Now let's see how we are going to control this using this code. So let's open our block code and let's hide our serial monitor. Now I'm going to control block, and from control block I'm going to select if then else statement. Okay, so I just took the if then else statement, and just to write the statement I am going to math block. From math block it's operations, but I need conditional statement. I just took the second block, from there I took the equal to operator, and that I am placing inside this if condition. And here from the variables I just choose state, so state equal to 1. If state equal to 1, what we are going to do? So we are going to make this LED pin high. So LED we connected to digital pin 9, and here I am writing set pin 9 is high, and let's duplicate this, and else we will make set pin 9 low. Perfect. Now let's test it. So start simulation. You can see here if I am clicking this momentary push button, only that occasion if I am pressing this button you can see the LED is on. That's it. Perfect. Now if you want you can verify this using serial monitor. You can see by default it is 0. The moment state variable is 1, you can see this LED is on. It's already done perfectly. That's it. Now if you want you can add one more LED to this circuit. So we are expecting to control our traffic light circuit using this push button. So I just added one more LED just to show you. Let's rewind everything whatever we did for the first LED. So let me connect a resistor to this anode, and that I am going to connect to any of the digital pin. So I just connected this to digital pin 7 through a resistor, and the resistance value again I am making 220 ohm. By default it is coming as 1 kilo ohm. Okay, perfect. Now let's see how we are going to change our code just to control the second LED. And the second LED color I made green. So we are expecting that by default the green LED has to be on. Okay, but when we are pressing the button the red LED has to be on. That's it. So just for doing this, I am making, in else case, instead of making 9 low, I am making 7 high. So when the button is not pressed, I am thinking the green LED is on. Yeah, that's fine. But there is a problem. It's showing that both LEDs on together. So just to make some changes in the program. So in if condition, I am making pin 9 high and pin 7 low. And in else condition, I am making when the pin 7 is high, I am making pin 9 too low. So we are expecting that at a time there should be only one LED is on. Okay, now let's test it. Okay, I'm making it low. Yes, so by default we are expecting the green LED is on. Perfect. But the moment I am pressing this button, you can see the green is off and the red is on. I think so far it's clear how to use a push button with LED or any other device, right? So from push button, Arduino microcontroller was reading some data, and as per the data, it was controlling some devices. So push button is an input device and LED, what we used here, is an output device. Okay, I hope now that's clear for everybody. So let's do that traffic light controller system using this push button as an assignment, and maybe let's continue that in the next class. So that's it. Thank you.